Hello, everybody. This is Aaron Dean with Learning Through Games, and today we're going to look at the box of the pawn, an endgame technique. Before we do that, a lot of people have been saying that because of Halloween, I kind of have a dark background. They've been thinking I've been putting like skeletons or skulls behind me. That's not true. I haven't done that at all. Um, if you've seen something back there, the only thing I can think of is my 2 year old sometimes is walking around like looking for his ball. You might have seen his head or something in the dark and thought it's a skull, but that's all. I have not put anything to scare anybody, I promise. Now let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this position. Now you see white's ahead and he has the extra pawn. Black has nothing. So white is the only one who can win the game. Even if this pawn were to disappear like that, this would now be a tie. So black still can hope for a tie. So now let's just say that it's black's move. And we think, well, can we get this pawn to queen? Now you could calculate this in your head. You could think, oh, if he goes here and I go here and he goes here, and then you could try to calculate the answer. And some of you can do that. And sometimes you might try and mess up and not be able to do it. But I'm going to show you a real easy way to figure kind of these things out. Let's say you had this position. So it depends whose move it is. Let's just say that it's white's move. Now, I could calculate this out and think if I move my pawn here, but all I have to do is make kind of a box with my pawn. And here's how I do it. I go diagonal towards the enemy king. I go diagonal here and make the box all the way down to meet my king to here. See this box I'm making? So watch me again. I'm going to start with the box. This goes here, diagonal 2 from my king towards the enemy king. Now the question is, can the enemy king get in your box, or is he already in your box? And the answer is yes, he's already in it. So he will stop it, even if it's your move. But let's take a look to be sure. Pawn moves up, king goes here, pawn moves up, king goes here, and he's going to stop it. But I figured that out just by doing the box of the pawn. Now, let's say we look at that position and think, oh darn, I can't play here, move my pawn up because he's going to stop it. What do I do? Well, you just get your king involved. Move your king here and try to kind of get in front of your pawn. Try to do that. And help your pawn down. And then you can get the win. So let's go back to a different position. And even if you can't get the win, at least you could try by getting your king in front. Let's make it over here. And let's say it's white to move. Or well, let's say it's black to move. So here's our box. Boom, boom, boom. See the square? You could call it the square of the pawn. Now, if it's black to move, will the black king be able to stop your pawn? Go ahead and pause the video and decide. Okay, if you said no, you're correct because he's not in the box and he cannot get in the box. He cannot jump into it. So you can let him move and you don't need to worry about your king helping out. The pawn can do it on its own. So you could just wave. The king could wave and say, good luck. And he tries. And the pawn's like, I'm almost there, Dad. I'm almost there. And then he gets the queen. And they're all happy. And then you have to, of course, know the correct method to checkmate with the queen. All right. So let's look at one more. Let's say the king's here. And let's say it's now black to move. Can the king stop your white pawn if it's black to move? I'll go ahead and pause it. All right. If you said yes, you're right, because here's the box. Look at the box. Start it over, take the pawn diagonal towards the enemy king. And the king is not in the box now, but if it's his move, he can jump in the box and stop it. But if it's your move, if it's white's move, can the black king stop it? The answer is no, because you move the pawn and now the box is smaller. He gets closer. hoping to jump in that box, but now your box is super tiny and he'll never stop it. So again, if you think the enemy king is going to catch it, you want to get your king involved. In this case, it doesn't really, probably wouldn't help to get your king involved because it's a side pawn, but you could try. All right, guys, I hope this helps you out. The box of the pawn, you can look at other stuff online about it. It's a very common technique. I actually didn't learn it till kind of late. I would always calculate, and now I can just do the box of the pawn. All right, we'll see you later, guys. Thank you.